Hello, this is our Voice Stories channel.
Only for family. Those 4 words broke something inside me. We'd always gone only for family. I'm Megan Clark, 35, a financial manager from Buffalo, and apparently not family anymore. I had spent $22,000 on that Hawaii trip, believing sunshine and salt air might patch the cracks left by my divorce. Instead, they went without me. No call. No photo. Just silence, betrayal wrapped in tropical air. 2 years, $72,000 in total. Rent payments. Bills. A car for my sister. I had financed their comfort as if affection could be bought. But that call made everything clear. I wasn't their daughter, just their personal bank account. This time I refused to beg for inclusion. Have you ever been cut off by the people you die for? Share your story below. Maybe it'll help someone else feel less alone. If family locked me out, I'd teach myself to stand outside. That night, Buffalo lay under a soft blanket of snow. I sat by my window, laptop open, my pulse hammering as I faced the truth in numbers. My bank records, $22,000 for their dream vacation. $50,000 more over 2 years. Rent. Groceries. Utilities. Furniture. Even my sister's used car. Every line item a receipt for love that had never truly existed. I scrolled through months of transactions, $200 here for rent, $800 there for emergencies. Each payment chipped away at my savings, and my self-worth. I had canceled therapy sessions to keep their lights on, skipped weekend trips to pay their phone bill, all while they were laughing under Hawaiian palms, without me. Mom never apologized. Dad didn't call. Rachel didn't even send a text, not even a fake excuse. The silence told me everything. I wasn't family. I was funding family. Leaning back, I caught my reflection in the dark laptop screen. The woman staring back looked drained, not from work, but from years of buying affection that was never for sale. I reached for my phone and called Laura Bennett, my financial advisor. Judith, I said, voice steadier than my hands, I need to review all my accounts tomorrow morning. She answered instantly. Of course. 9 o'clock. We'll fix this. When I hung up, calm washed over me. For the first time, I wasn't the desperate daughter. I was the woman who finally stopped paying for love. I'd spent years buying belonging. Tomorrow, I'd start buying freedom. A month later, my phone buzzed, Rachel. Her name once meant laughter, now it meant debt. Judy, she started sweetly, the landlord's on my case again. Rent's late, about $2,000. Can you send it today? Her tone was soft, rehearsed, the same one she'd perfected since childhood to get her way. I didn't hesitate. Only for family, I said. Silence. Then a forced laugh. What's that supposed to mean? We are family, Judy. Don't make this weird. Her voice dripped with guilt and charm, but this time, neither worked. For the first time in years, I heard what sat beneath her tone, need, not love. I'm done bailing you out, I said, and hung up. My hand shook, not from fear, but from clarity. I opened my laptop, logged into my banking app, and stared at the list of automatic transfers, $200 for her rent, $300 for car insurance, $200 for their phone bill. One by one, I canceled them. Each confirmation that appeared on screen felt like a spark, a flicker of freedom. When the last one vanished, I exhaled. I wasn't their safety net anymore. Next, I called Judith again. Judith, I need to secure my accounts. No shared access, no third-party permissions. She didn't ask why. Come in this afternoon, she said. We'll make it official. At the bank, fresh paperwork waited, new security codes, limited permissions, instant alerts. You're taking back control, Judith said gently. That's not easy. I smiled for the first time in months. It's necessary. As I signed the last form, I thought about every time I'd tried to purchase peace, with checks, apologies, or silence. Not anymore. When I stepped outside, the winter air bit at my cheeks but felt cleansing. Cars glided through slush, windows glowed gold, a distant saxophone floated from a diner. It sounded like freedom. For the first time, I walked without rushing or calculating what I still owed. Each step felt lighter, as though the ground itself forgave me. My reflection in a cafe window showed someone new, not broken, but rebuilding. Each breath steadier, each step freer. I wasn't chasing love anymore. I was protecting peace. As I slipped my new bank card into my wallet, the old version of me, the fixer, the provider, the fool, began to fade. They had built their lives on my money. Now, they'd have to live without it. The next morning, cars pulled up outside my building. Doors slammed. Voices murmured. I peeked through the blinds, and froze. My parents. Rachel. And a man in a crisp suit clutching a briefcase. The doorbell buzzed, sharp, relentless. My pulse jumped. I opened the door halfway. Judy, we need to talk, Rachel said, her voice syrup over steel. The man stepped forward. Mr. Coleman, attorney for the Warren family, he said smoothly. Your family is concerned about your recent financial choices. Concerned? I echoed. He adjusted his tie. They'd like to discuss your obligations. Obligations? The word burned. Rachel folded her arms. You can't just stop helping us, she snapped. We're family. You owe us. Mom nodded. You've always taken care of us, Judy. Don't turn your back now. Dad muttered, eyes low. We need that money to get by. Be reasonable. The air grew thick, guilt masquerading as love. But I wasn't that woman anymore. I straightened my shoulders. I don't owe you anything, I said quietly. You made that clear when you left me out. Rachel's face twisted. You're being selfish. Mr. Coleman raised a hand. Ms. Warren, we can handle this legally if needed. Then take it to court, I said, and shut the door. Their voices rose outside, muffled, angry. I locked the deadbolt. The click felt like punctuation on the past. Moments later, my phone buzzed, unknown number. I ignored it. Then again, louder. Buffalo Hardware, a cheerful man said when I finally answered. You called about new locks and cameras? Right, I said. Can you send someone today? Absolutely. We'll have a technician by noon. At 12:07, a man named Mike arrived, calm, practical. Want to keep visitors out? He asked, examining the door. Something like that, I replied. He worked fast, installed a deadbolt, motion sensors, a door camera synced to my phone. This will catch anyone who comes near, he said. I watched the red light blink alive. It looked like peace. When Mike left, I locked the door and sank into the couch. Silence filled the room. No guilt. No voices. Just quiet. Outside, snow fell soft against the glass, proof that nothing stays frozen forever. They'd brought a lawyer to my doorstep. That wasn't family. That was war. And they'd just awakened my defense. 3 weeks later, I entered the Buffalo courthouse. Marble floors. Echoes of other people's battles. Mine had just begun. Daniel Pierce, my attorney, stood beside me. Stay calm, he whispered. Truth's on your side. Across the aisle, my parents, Rachel, and Mr. Coleman. Polished. Rehearsed. Pretending betrayal could be powdered over. Judge Thomas Reed entered. Everyone rose. My heart stayed heavy. Mr. Coleman began smoothly, Your Honor, Ms. Warren has demonstrated erratic financial behavior. She cut off her family's support abruptly, leaving them in hardship. He gestured toward Rachel, who dabbed fake tears. Judy's not herself anymore, she said. She's unstable, my father added. Their lies stung, not because they were true, but because I once believed they cared. Mr. Lawson stood. Your Honor, my client isn't unstable, she's independent. He handed over documents, pay stubs, bank records, performance reviews, proof of stability. Then came Dr. Dr. Fiona Wells, the psychiatrist. Calm. Steady. Ms. Warren is competent and mentally sound, she said. Her actions are boundaries, not breakdowns. Hayes tried to twist it. Would you say stress can impair judgment? Stress, she replied, isn't incapacity. A ripple ran through the courtroom. When it was my turn, I rose. For years, I paid their rent, their bills, their comfort. I thought love meant sacrifice, I said. But when they excluded me, I realized I was never a daughter. I was a donor. Setting boundaries isn't cruelty. It's survival. Objection, Hayes barked. Overruled, said the judge. Minutes blurred, closing arguments, paper shuffles, the hum of lights. Finally, Judge Carter spoke. The plaintiffs have shown no evidence of incapacity. Case dismissed. Relief crashed through me like light breaking glass. Across the aisle, Rachel's jaw tightened. Dad stared at the floor. Mom swallowed pride like poison. Mr. Lawson leaned over. You just won your life back. Outside, sunlight poured over the courthouse steps, turning snow to gold. 4 months I'd trudged through storms. Now, warmth found me. This wasn't just victory, it was closure. 3 months later, I stood in my new apartment, overlooking the Buffalo skyline glowing like forgiveness. The air felt lighter. No echoes of slammed doors or whispered guilt, just space, mine. I brewed coffee, the scent wrapping around me like comfort. Unpacked books, plants, one photo, me on a Hawaiian beach. A reminder, never pay for love that excludes you. A text buzzed from Olivia, my best friend. Dinner tonight. You owe me details about your freedom. I laughed. She'd been my anchor. That night over pasta, she raised her glass. To choosing yourself. We clinked glasses, the sound bright, clean, debt-free. I told her about my new plans, a solo trip to Italy, a cooking class, a savings fund called Future Joy. For once, every dollar I earned had purpose. Sometimes I thought of my family. Rachel was juggling 2 jobs. My parents had downsized, learning what real limits meant. I didn't wish them harm, but I no longer confused pity with love. Standing by the window later, I thought about everything they'd tried to take, my money, confidence, voice, and how, in fighting back, I reclaimed something priceless, myself. My worth was never their debt to collect, I whispered. Outside, Buffalo snow fell soft and clean. You don't owe your peace to people who profit from your pain. If you've ever had to walk away from love just to save yourself, share your story. Someone might need it tonight. And if this story found you at the right time, like and subscribe. You're not alone in reclaiming your peace.
Goodbye.